We're now going to go over just some basic riding principles. We're not going to go into full detail on everything. That's what all the courses are for, and all the individual little things about how to do lead departures and body control and lead changes and stops and spins and all that stuff that is inside of the courses. But what I want to do is just kind of go over a general just landscape of some of the basics we're looking for, so you can kind of see how this program starts out. Now again, this is Quinn. He's just a 3-year-old. He's got about 45 rides or so he's just kind of getting started with things. He's going to be a little low. He's going to be a little over-flex and all that stuff, but don't panic yourself over there. He's trying to be soft. He's trying to be willing, and as time goes on, he will get better with things. So what we're going to do here at first is I just kind of want to just kind of connect with some basics. So here, as I kind of liven up my energy, he kind of livens up with me. He's not overly excited, but as I kind of get ready to go, he gets ready to go. So I want to be focusing on like my intention, my energy and things, and seeing if he can feel it, versus just sitting here and just kicking him and saying, come on, Quinn, get up there, just come on, get going. Like he might learn that, but I want to have just a little bit more finesse, a little bit more feel than that. So I'm thinking about his feet, I'm thinking about his energy, I'm thinking about his focus, and I'm also thinking about how mine connects to all that. So am I focused? Do I have the right kind of energy? And am I thinking about what my body needs to be doing? So essentially, I'm just going to be sitting up here fairly straight. My legs are going to be close. I'm not sitting back with my legs off, kicking on them and stuff. I'm up here straight, kind of finding some balance with him. As I pick up on my reins, I'd like to have him have a little bit of feel. When I mean feel is when I take a hold, I want to feel him pulling on me and grinding on me and all these things. Now, he's going to seem just a little bit extra soft, and that's fine. I don't mind him being that way in the beginning. But he's going to flex a little bit and just kind of come off my rein. Now, this is a comfort snaffle. It's about as light a bit as you're ever going to get in there. Mine is just riding with a halter or a string around his neck. So he's just coming off that pressure real light, but I'm acknowledging it and feeling it. So as I pull, he kind of gives to me, so then I'll give to him. Just real simply. Maybe I'll try to center him up, so I'm going to try to straighten his body underneath me, so I might use a little bit of right rein, a little bit of right leg, kind of push his body around just a little bit. But I'm going to wait until his body does push. I'm going to wait until things kind of give. I'm not just going to let him be dull and just push around and leak and do things that I don't want him to do. So essentially, when he goes wide or something, I'm going to then take a hold, push him back to center, and then I'm going to let him be. So he goes wide, then I'll bring him back to center, and then we'll let him be. And it's just kind of a constant recentering is what we're doing, particularly at this stage on a young horse. Now from here, I might see about some softness. So what I'm going to do is just going to kind of ride him here like we did on the ground. We're going to do our groundwork from the saddle. So I'm going to pick up and see if I can soften him and ride him on this circle. So this left rein here is just kind of my lead rope. I'm just going to pick up on that just like it was the lead, and I'm going to push him forward with my legs. So my legs are like the other end of my lead rope with the lift, swing, touch thing. So I'm going to lift, swing, touch with my legs. All right, I'm going to lead it with my rein. This is just general basics. Like these things can kind of be modified or adjusted. But essentially, I'm going to guide him with my rein. I'm going to push him with my legs and my seat. Then I'm going to shorten that rein up. I'm going to see if I can kind of shorten to the point that his front feet slow down and his back feet speed up. I'm going to wait for him to soften to this hand as we come around. It doesn't have to be perfect. He doesn't have to be pivoting and things like that. I just want to have a general feel. Can I ride him forward all 4 feet? Can I soften him? Can I take a hold? Can I take those hind feet around? Can I now go back to all 4 feet? Here he's offering a little bit of impulsion, so I'll drive him up here with my seat and my legs. Just kind of let him cruise through there. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to draw, push with my legs, have him come around. Thinking about the hind feet. Are the hind feet coming around? Now I might just switch here. I'm going to change rein. I'm going to guide him off here to the right. There he's kind of relaxing, blowing out a little bit. Again, as I take a hold, I want to feel some sort of softness. If he gives, I'll give back. I'm going to reach down this right rein. I'm going to ask him to follow through here. Bring those hindquarters around. I can push with my feet a little bit. See if he can kind of come through. If he's hanging on that rein or something, I'll wait till he softens and gives off of that, and I'm going to give back to him. There he kind of comes off to the left, so I'll just guide him back here to the right. Just kind of keep putting him back where I want him versus just holding. I'll just kind of pick up guide and then let go. And as he gets more secure here, like he's just got 45, 50 rides or so, after a while I can start holding him longer and longer as time goes on, but he has his whole life to be held, so there's no need getting too carried away here in the beginning. And then I'm just going to kind of quit riding. Notice how he just quit going. Again, that's where that energy and that intention comes in. He kind of feels that and he kind of understands that a little bit. So I'll be practicing and looking for those things like, is he waiting to go? And then he goes when I ask. And then does he come back when you get quiet? Or do I come back and I'm sitting back here, legs off, and he's still just walking off, heading to the gate? I don't want to have that on my horses. We're going to go into detail of how you can get that changed in these courses for sure, because there's different things that you need to do so that you can prevent that. But basically, I want to feel like I'm connected to my horse with my energy, through his energy, all the way down through his legs, to his feet, to the ground. And I want to feel some softness. Right? These are all things that we're kind of looking for. Now, the next thing we're going to look for is some connection to the front feet. If you notice, on the groundwork, we did a circle to the hind quarters, and then we opened up. So I'm going to open my left leg, open my left rein, and I'm going to push from the right side. I'm not worried about how cool or critical this is, how perfect. I just want to feel like his front feet are coming over here to my reins and my hand. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect. If he's a little bit pushy there, I might soften him a little bit off my hand, and then I'm just going to let him be. So the sequence here in the beginning would be circle, soften on the circle, bring the hind quarters, wait through that head there, wait for the hind feet, then open and push the front feet across. Then from there, what we'd look for is some backing. So I'm going to take a hold of him right there. I don't really like how he was in the beginning, so I'm going to take a hold and I'm just going to wait and guide him around here on this circle, because there's walls. You could do a straight line, you can do a circle, but until he's kind of stepping clean and soft. So not just his feet, not just his face. There might be times where they just give you their face. Great, you can release. There might be times where their face is out of whack and their feet are good. You can release. But eventually I want to have where he gives his face and his feet for a few steps here. So I'm going to use some energy in my body, use a little bit of leg, and then release that rein. So I might try it to the other direction. So I'm going to ride him off here to the right. If he's a little bit pushy on my hand, I'll just wait. This is a comfort snaffle. It's super lightweight on this horse, so it's designed if he needs to pull on me, he can, and he'll just run into some basic resistance without being pinched and leveraged just yet. He doesn't need any of that at this stage. So I'm just going to hold here and wait till he softens to my hand. I'm going to reach down and shorten that rein. Wait till that finds the hind quarters here. I'm going to use a little bit of leg to help him. And then I'm going to open my right side, my right rein, my right leg. I'm going to look off here to the right. I'm going to start pushing from the outside. If I feel those feet start to come to my hands, then I'll release. And then if I wanted to, I could pick him up here. We might back him around this other way. Notice there, he's a little quick in his feet, but then he got a little bit heavy in his face. So I'm going to wait through that. Okay, these are all normal things at this stage. I wouldn't expect him to be perfect through here. I'm going to guide him here, not just with my rein, but also with my legs. So I might pull him off to the left here, but then drive him back and kind of use my legs a little bit to help him. When he softens up, we'll let him be. So that's kind of our balance sequence under saddle. So we talked about the energy and the motion and the feel here. We talked about the softness in my hand. We talk about the pushing with the legs. And then the biggest thing is I want to have some connection with my horse clear to the ground. All 4 feet reaching, hind feet across. This doesn't have to be perfect. Just get the hinds in general. Bring the front feet over. Get him to step through a little bit. And then see if we can back the horse up. Now, in the beginning here, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be great. What I basically want is just a general overview. Can you go left? Can you go right? Do you know how to soften? Can you find my energy? Just basics like that, because he has his whole life to be rammed and jammed on and go through things and hard and whatever. But in the beginning, if they have these basics and they get solid at them, As it's time to advance him along, the training is going to be much easier. Essentially, at this stage, I'm not actually training him yet. I'm teaching him how to learn. I'm teaching him concepts like the opposition reflex. I'm teaching him what it means to be set up for a situation. I'm teaching him what it means to find a change and develop a try and focus and have some feel. These are all just basic core concepts that he needs to be a successful partner in the future. And if he can find those things, and then I'm like, hey, let's pick up a left lead. Let's do a little body control. Let's do a haunches in. Let's do a lead change. Let's go rope a cow or go jump a fence or whatever's coming in his future. Then I can lay down a little bit of more guidelines, shorten things up, tighten things up. And if he's structured in his mind and he's willing and he's soft and he's not overly emotional and all these things that step in our way, when we're training horses sometimes, if I can take care of this foundation, I'm going to run into way less of that stuff later on. So all of these basics are actually going to pay off in the long run so that when I am trying to build some of the big stuff, it builds so much easier. And if we run into any troubles, I can always just take a few steps backwards into his foundation, find where the hole might be, and then I can patch it, and then we can move right back to where we were, and a lot of times just move right on past that and keep on going because he's got his confidence back, he understands, and he figured out that situation that we had for the day. So hopefully some of these basics were good for you, and again, we're going to go into a lot more detail with these things in these courses, but I wanted to give you guys just kind of a fresh look, a general overview of what we got going on here, particularly with a young horse here like Quinn, and how this is going to lead into his future. It's a good thing you fucked up. That was a way better set, don't you think? Nope. Never cut. Unless you ask like you did, and then maybe I'll say yes. What do you think? We did saddling?
We already did that.
Yeah, so it's checked. Not checked, checked.
They're all checked.
That's a good little set. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 10. That's good. How cold are you?
Really cold.
Yeah, you said you didn't need heater there.
Well, I forgot I'm missing bibs now.
They're on their way. There's something at the post office tomorrow. We'll need to grab it. I think it's water bowls. Nothing's really been freezing too hard yet, though, huh?
No.
Inside.
I don't think I had an issue with it last year.
I think we filmed enough today. I think what we need to do is just kind of keep coming after this every day a little bit. Now we got all our gear and what we got going. We'll just keep coming. We'll get your thing out, and I'll be fresh. You'll be warm. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll try to, this is what I would do, is I would put,
Can they just go in the stall together?
no. That's a good way to crucify it. I know Kara did it with hers, but they were babies. We could tie the stud for the night. Just make sure he's got a full hay net. And then water him before you go to bed. Or just tie a bucket in the corner over the top of the grain area. But check at night, like 10 or 11 before you go to bed, and the first thing in the morning, water his ass. Okay, can you handle that? Or he probably could spend the night up top loose too. It's fine.
I'll just tie him.
Okay. Tie his tail up in case he gets fucking stupid and falls down and all that. Okay. And then blanket these guys, get their tails up and everything. And then we'll try to take advantage of the situation here and keep filming for a few days. Everything needs to come in though, and it kind of sucks, but just get it all back into the mud room. No battery issues. Okay. So we learned about this, we learned about our cord, got our whiteboard started, we're doing good.
What about that light? Can I leave it in the hay or
Bring it in, because I might do some filming during the day or something inside. in the studio. That's my backlight in the studio. That looks kind of cool though, huh? Yeah, so we'll bring it in, bring this in. The switch for that's on the back, right? Tell you what, I'll give you the horse to deal with, and then I'll start shucking some gear. We'll just go tie him up, and then bring gear in, and then you can untack him, okay?
Do you want me to turn off the camera now?
Yep, you can turn it off now.